Dark. It doesn't.
Yeah, so you can start reading. Can you see it, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Bhakti Vriksha class. Saraswati Mataji will be giving her transcendental words of wisdom on Sri Namamrit, followed by His Grace, Narad Pran Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, welcome once again, all the devotees.
Thank you. Subhash Prabhuji, yeah. Can you start reading week 33?
No, I am saying I can't read it because the screen is very dark.
Oh.
I'll
Is
read.
Rupanshi, aap padho, and by the time you just make my screen okay.
Okay.
Others, is the screen clear or not?
Yes,
no,
Mataji.
the screen is dark. You know, it's gray. It's
I
not
think
white.
you will have to adjust your screen someday because it's clear for everyone. Just check your connection. Okay. So meanwhile, you can start reading.
Nagraj Prabhuji, do you want to read first?
Either way, just start it.
Yeah. You can read, you can read.
You start reading, after that Nagraj Prabhuji will read. By that time, Subhash Prabhuji will get through and he can also.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Week number 33, Sri Nama Amrit. As long as one is within the limited jurisdiction of fruitive activities or is involved in mental speculation, he may perhaps be eligible to study or teach the theoretical knowledge of Vedanta Sutra, but he cannot understand the supreme, eternal, transcendental, completely liberated vibrations of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One who has achieved perfection in chanting the transcendental Hare Krishna vibration does not have to separately learn the philosophy of Vedanta Sutra.
Yeah,
According to
1 minute. We'll just discuss this much. So here, so long as we are, one is remain engaged in fruitive activities or in mental speculation, even though he may have theoretical knowledge of the Vedanta Sutra, but he cannot understand the transcendental vibrations of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is non-different from Lord Krishna, right? Because Krishna is non-different from his name. Now, but on the other hand, if someone has achieved perfection in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or in other words, he is in full Krishna consciousness, then he does not need to separately, study the Vedanta Sutra. Why? Because this has been explained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, sloka number 15, which goes this way: Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto mattah smritir ज्ञानवपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वे अहमेव वेदो Vedant Krit Vedavid Eva Chaham. So what Krishna is saying here, that I am seated in everyone's heart. And from me comes the remembrance, the knowledge, as well as the forgetfulness. So by all the Vedas, I am to be known, and I am the compiler of the Vedas. So what is the purpose of the Vedas? Is to have knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Vedas, they give us the direction so that we can understand Krishna. Okay. So if one has already understood Krishna, one who is already in Krishna consciousness, he does not again need to go through the Vedanta Sutra. He has understood it all. And then again, Krishna says in one of the shlokas in the 18th chapter, 55th, that Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tat anantaram. So here what he says, one can understand me only if he is in devotional service, not otherwise. So one who has perfected the chanting of the Mahamantra, that is already in Krishna consciousness, already understands Krishna. So he does not need to go through the Vedanta Sutra again. And on the other hand, if someone has theoretical knowledge about the Vedanta Sutra, but he does not understand this, he's not into Krishna consciousness, then he does not actually understand it at all. Because the Vedas are only to understand Krishna. Okay. So you can continue from there.
According to the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the bona fide spiritual master, those who do not understand the transcendental vibration as not being non-different from the supreme, and who try to become Mayavadi philosophers or experts in Vedanta Sutra, are all fools. Studying Vedanta Sutra by one's own effort, the ascending process of knowledge, is another sign of foolishness.
Yeah. So here what we know that spiritual knowledge has to be obtained by the disciplic succession, that is from the parampara. So we have to obtain the knowledge from the spiritual, bona fide spiritual master. And who is bona fide spiritual master? That is who is coming down from the parampara. So if we see the Bhagavad Gita as it is book in the introduction part, there is one, one page where the disciplic succession is given. Like it starts from Krishna, after that there's a Brahma, then there is Narad, then Vyas, and so on, it goes on, and it ends with A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the 32nd Acharya. So whatever knowledge we are getting, as we are very fortunate to be connected with ISKCON, and we are getting all the teachings of Prabhupada, so therefore we are in the right path and we can really get the spiritual knowledge. But people who are just, getting gurus from anywhere, not from the parampara, they are actually in the wrong path. They are not going to be able to learn the right things. Okay. Okay, so we continue. Next para, Nagaraj Prabhuji, would you like to read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible? My voice is audible.
Yes. Yes.
Passage for discussion.
No, the next para. He who has attained the taste.
Okay. He who has attained the taste of chanting the transcendental vibration, however, actually attaining the conclusion of Vedanta. In this connection, there are two verses in Srimad Bhagavatam which are very instructive. The purport of the first is, even if a low caste person is engaged in chanting the transcendental vibration, it is to be understood that he has performed all types of renunciations, austerities, and sacrifice, and has studied all the Brahma Sutras. Thus, one who can able to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The purport of the second verse is that one who chants the two syllables Hari must be considered to have studied all the Vedas, the Veda, Atharva Veda, and Yajur Veda and Sama Veda, teaching of Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here this reference is of Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7. So I'll just read the translation. That is, it says, "O my Lord, persons who chant the holy names of your Lordship are far, far advanced in spiritual life, even if born in families of dog eaters. Such chanters have undoubtedly performed all kinds of austerities and sacrifices, bathed in all sacred places, and finished all scriptural studies." So the famous example of this was presented by Lord Chaitanya, who accepted Haridas Thakur. We all know that Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, but then he was elevated to the post of Namacharya by Lord Chaitanya due to his rigidly attending and that principle of chanting 3 lakh names of the Lord daily. So therefore, he was named Namacharya, even though he was a Muslim. So now we can go to the passage for discussion. Okay.
I will read it, or somebody is going to read it?
Now I will just give a introduction and then you can. So today's passage for discussion is again from chapter 6, sloka 34. If you all recall, last week we had done which sloka? Anyone remembers? Sloka number?
6.24.
Right. So we had done 6.24. So we already are a bit familiar about chapter 6, but just a bit revision. and then we will start with today's shloka. Okay. So as we know, the chapter 6 is titled Dhyan Yoga, that is Ashtanga Yoga, and it is the last chapter in the Karma Yoga section. The Karma Yoga section is chapter 1 to chapter 6. So this is the last chapter of the Karma Yoga section. Now, in the chapter 5, Krishna describes how one can attain liberation by performing Nishkama Karma Yoga. And also he touched upon Ashtanga Yoga in last part, that is 5.27 and 28. Now, in chapter 6, he describes in details about the Ashtanga Yoga. Now, Ashtanga Yoga is actually very difficult to practice, especially in Kali Yuga. Why we'll read about it later. So, and in Ashtanga Yoga, the beginning stage of Ashtanga Yoga is called Aruruksha stage, and the final stage is Arudha stage. So, what happens is once who are in the beginning stage, that is Aruruksha stage, they should not give up their prescribed duties. Why? Because the Nishkama Karma Yoga helps in purifying. And only when a person is totally free from all material desires, that is only when he has reached the Arudha stage, can he give up all the prescribed duties. Okay. And then we discussed about that there are 8 folds of Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So these are the 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. And then we also discussed that in the next 2 slokas, that is 7th and 9th, 7 to 9 sloka, Krishna describes about what are the qualities of a person who has already reached the Arudha stage, right? And then from the 10th sloka onwards till the 32nd sloka deals with all the different stages of Ashtanga Yoga practice, like how one has to sit, sitting firmly, one should not eat too much, one should not sleep too much, and there are so many other things. And then we discussed about attaining perfection in Ashtanga Yoga. That is Bhagavad Gita 6.24. That was discussed last time. And in brief, what was that 6.24? It was that we should have firm determination and faith, right? We should have firm determination and faith so that we can overcome all the obstacles that may come in the path of our progress in spiritual life. We also took the example of Dhruva Maharaj because he's the best example for firm determination. And we discussed also about Prahalad Maharaj, the faith that Prahalad Maharaj had. And the purport talked about the sparrow. So from all that, what we had to learn is that we should have firm determination and faith and overcome obstacles that can come in the path of our progress, that is in the spiritual path. So now today, today we are going to discuss about one great obstacle that comes in our path to spiritual progress. And what is that great obstacle? That is our mind, which is flickering, which is stubborn, which is obstinate, and which is very strong, and it often overpowers our intelligence. So we will start with Bhagavad Gita 6.34, which deals with that. Okay, so now you can start, Narad Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Essays for a discussion. Week 33. Chanchalaha manaha Krishna pramati balvadradam Krishna vigraham manne vayoriva saduskaram.
Okay, so we'll repeat this sloka 3 times so that everyone can also repeat, okay, and get it clear. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna.
Chanchalaham manahi Krishna.
Pramati balvadradam.
Pramati balvadradam.
Tasyaham nigraham manne.
Tasyaham nigraham manne.
Vayoriv sudushkaram.
Vayoriva sudushkaram.
Chanchalam hi mana Krishna.
Chanchalaham hi manaha Krishna.
Pramati balvadradam.
Pramati balvadradam.
Tasyaham nigraham manne.
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
वायोरिव दुष्करम्
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्
चञ्चलं हि मना कृष्ण
चञ्चलं मनः कृष्ण
प्रमाति बलवदृढम्
प्रमाथि बलभद्रम्
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये
वायोरिव दुष्करम्.
वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्
So I'll just say the word meanings for better understanding. So Chanchalam is flickering, heat certainly. Manaha, mind. Krishna, O Krishna. Pramati, agitating. Balavat, strong. Dridam, obstinate. Tasya, it's aham, I. Nigraham, subduing. Manne, think. Vayo, of the wind. Eva, like. Sudushkaram, difficult. Yeah, so you may read the translation.
Yeah, translation text. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Shall I read the purport?
Yes, yes,
I can
start.
read the purport. I can read the purport. Mataji.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Uh, Hare
Subhash
Krishna
Prabhuji
Prabhuji
can.
Mataji. Purport. The mind is so strong and obstinate that it sometimes overcomes the intelligence, although mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligence. For a man in practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium towards both friend and enemy, but ultimately, no worldly man can do so, for this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. In the
Just one
Vedic,
minute. We'll just discuss this much and then proceed. So
okay,
here Arjuna is describing his deficiency. That is, his mind is chanchala. It is restless. Pramati. Pramati is like a madman, without any brain. Balvat is very strong. So Arjuna is, telling Krishna this that like my mind is so restless. I can control it is as difficult as controlling the wind. So therefore, mind is always so agitated that to subdue it is nearly impossible. Now, if we think of this, Arjuna is saying this when that was first of all, what is his qualification? He is a friend of Krishna. He is from a royal family, and he's saying this 5,000 years back when this, the conditions were very favorable for spiritual, progress. He's saying it at that stage. So just think of us. We are ordinary people, and we are in such a condition. We have so many distractions. We have the social media, we have the Facebook, the Twitter, then we have Insta. We have so many things. So for us, how difficult it is, to just control our mind and fix it on Krishna. This is something. So therefore, when we are chanting and our mind keeps going here and there, we should not feel disheartened. We should keep trying and bringing the mind back, to the chanting, because we can always think that if Arjuna, such a elevated soul, if he was finding it difficult, we will definitely find it difficult. So we should just keep trying and not feel disheartened about it. Okay, okay. So you can continue, Prabhuji, reading.
uh, in the Vedic literature, it is said, now this is Sanskrit, I don't understand that. Atmana Rathina Vidhi uh,
Shariram Ratham Evacha
Charitam Ratham Evache
Buddhim
Buddhi
tu
Buddhim tu
Sarathim Vidhi Manaha
Taratam
Pragraham
Vidhi.
Evacha
Yeah.
Indriyani Hayanahur Vishayam Steshu Gocharan Atmendriya Mano Yuktam Bhokteti Ahur Manishinaha. Now you can read.
Okay. The individual is the passenger in the car of material body, and intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument and the senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or sufferer in the association of the mind and senses. So it is understood by great thinkers. Intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it often overcomes even one's own intelligence. Such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled by the practice of yoga, but such practice is never practical for a worldly person like Arjuna. And what can we say of modern man? The simile used here is appropriate. One cannot capture the blowing wind, and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent mind. The easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance in all humility. The method prescribed is Sa Vai
Manu
Mano
Krishna Padara
Krishna
Vinde.
Padaru. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagement to agitate the mind.
So
Bhagavad
we'll,
Gita 6.35.
yeah, thank you. So now we'll just discuss this. So this example given is very good, that the main driver is our intelligence, and the reins as the mind, and the horses are the senses, chariot is the body, passenger is the soul. So when the intelligence, so it is actually that intelligence should be driving the mind and not the other way around. But what happens is that our mind is so strong, and that often the mind overpowers the intelligence. So how this can be avoided? It is when the intelligence is pure, when the intelligence is spiritual, when the intelligence is strong, then it can control the mind. And then what will happen? When it can control the mind, it can also in turn control the senses. So therefore, if the driver can control the reins, then only he can control the horses as well. So therefore, what should be the what should be our attempt? We should try to improve our intelligence. Our intelligence has to be spiritual. It has to be strong. And how can that happen? That can happen only by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or in other words, by getting into Krishna consciousness. So we have to understand this, that the senses always require some sort of real engagement. Now, this can either be, so it is either you remain engaged in Krishna, or you have to take the services of the Maya. Choice is yours. So therefore, if we can, we can always think of Krishna, then what happens? Then our mind will not become restless. It will go in one direction only. Okay, so that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is suggesting that the only way to escape is by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, in the next sloka, this of this chapter only 6.35, here Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamshayam Mahabahu Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasi tu Kaunteya Vairagyencha Grihati. So here Krishna, what happens? He agrees that to control the mind is undoubtedly a very difficult task, but it is not impossible. It is possible. How? He has said two things, that is Abhyasen and Vairagyan. This we studied in 3-day Bhagavad Gita course also in details. So what is it? Abhyasen. So that is, we have to get that sadhana bhakti. Like, for like, if you think of the gopis of Vrindavan, they did not need to practice anything, because they were so elevated that they constantly went on thinking of Krishna only. In fact, when Uddhavji came, to console them and all, that time they were asking him that, is there a way that we can stop thinking of him? So that is like Raganu Bhakti. That is, it comes from within. But we are not in that position. So what we have to do is we have to perform sadhana bhakti. So that's why we have to, do our chanting, 16 rounds of chanting, then attending the Mangal Aarti. Then we have to observe the fasting on special days, associate with all devotees, then of course reading the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have to follow all these rules and regulations. We have to in this way try to constantly remain attached to Krishna. So unlike Haridas Thakur, he used to chant whole day like 3 lakh names. It is not possible for us to do that. So that is why Prabhupada has, given us this discount that, okay, you can chant just 16 rounds. But then rest of the day also we can remain connected to Krishna by doing other activities like, reading the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavatam, and, doing even the seva, Vigraha seva and all that. That way we have to always remain connected with Krishna. And as long as we are connected with Krishna, we can be free from the clutches of Maya. Okay, and so this is about abhyas, and then we have the vairagya. So for that we have to follow 4 regulative principles. So why this is required? That is, for the mind to think of Krishna, we have to first clean the mind. It has to get rid of unnecessary things. And how can we get rid of unnecessary things? That is by following the 4 regulative principles. We take very simple example like the no gambling. Because if we are gambling, then what happens is our mind is constantly into, okay, whether we will lose or whether we will win. So then where is the place for Krishna then? Similarly, suppose if we are intoxicated, we are, taking liquor and all that, then the mind is not in the proper frame only. So no question of thinking of Krishna. Then if one is into some, say, no illicit sex, right? So if someone is in an extramarital affair, what happens? The person is constantly thinking about how to hide from people, and so his mind is totally engaged in such things. So therefore, no place for Krishna there, right? And then another thing is no meat eating. So we know that jaise an vaise man. So if we are going to, whatever we eat, that also has an impact on our thoughts. So therefore, these are the 4 regulative principles which we must follow so that our mind is free from all these unnecessary anarthas, and we can, just think of Krishna, and that way our mind will not be that restless. And yeah, that's it. I think that is all I can say. Now, Narad, Pran, Prabhuji, if you can add.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat. Prabhuji, now you can take over, please.
Mataji, okay, I will try, but
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna to all Prabhuji and Mataji, those who are here in this class of Bhakti Rich. I am thankful to Saswati Mataji and all of you for making the platform active. And the saying of Srila Prabhupada, the show must go on, and the show is going on. Hari Bol. Thank you to all of you. Those who have come, thanks. Those who have not come, I'm expecting they will come soon. So we have to try. Prabhuji, Mataji, this week number 33, Mataji has already explained most of the things very nicely, and nothing more can be added officially. But as a personal, I just want to say 2 things. One thing that in the beginning, in this para, they have discussed ascending process of knowledge. So there are 2 processes of knowledge, ascending process and descending process. Ascending process means it goes on up and up and up like this. Suppose we come that our child or children goes to school in class 1, not KG, lower KG, upper KG, then class 1, then class 2, 3, like this. So this is ascending order of knowledge. They get knowledge one by one. They don't get knowledge in the beginning, total knowledge. No, they get the knowledge after few classes or few years of studies, one by one. So this is called ascending process. This is applicable for material knowledge, which knowledge which we are there in this world, material world. Knowledge of this material world can be achieved by ascending process. But there is another method called descending process. Descending process means it's not one by one. Today you read this much and next day you read more. No, it is not like that. It is straight away directly from the mouth of a bona fide authentic person to the listener, directly the full knowledge. Just example, God is there. And who is God? That is has been shown in this ISKCON Parampara, Krishna Conscious Parampara by Srila Prabhupada and Acharya. It has been told in Gita, so we are just telling that, quoting Gita. Lord Krishna is supreme. It is not ascending process. You have to just believe. In our classes, we discussed and I have given example of suppose a son, small son, wants to know who is his father. So there are two methods. He can ask somebody, keep on asking uncles and uncles and uncles and aunties and aunties, maybe friends or somebody, but nothing will come 100% correct because it is not the authentic method. What is the authentic method? Mataji Prabhuji, to ask the mother. If child wants to know who is father, he should go straight away to mother. Because mother is bona fide authentic person for this. And because this is it, descending method. Method has, the answer has come from the top. Mother has told, look son, so and so is your father. Though he is not here, he has gone out of India or something. But I know who is your father. Your father is Mr. So and so. And that's all. The son should not ask, give the evidence, give the proof. How you say like this? No, because this is not ascending method. This is descending method. Mother, the bona fide authentic person, has directly given the conclusion which is authentic, just authentic. And then the son has to just take it like that. Final, finished. No more question, no more doubts and anything on that. Just say, my son. Son says, so and so is my father. Who told? My mother told. Finished. This is called descending method. It comes directly from the mouth of authentic bona fide person. Like in our case, ISKCON, the founder Acharya of ISKCON Srila Prabhupada, he told. And from where he told that I'm telling you the source also I'm telling you. It is in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the source is also he has shown, but he has just said, Krishna says like this, Aham sarvasya prabhu, matta sarvam pravartate, iti matva bhajante mam, buddha bhava samandata. Lord Krishna says, I'm total. Everything has come from me. Then again he says, Dharma Sanhita, Ishraha Parama Krishna, Sachidanand Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sarv Karan Karan. Lord Brahma says, the Ishwar is Paramishwar. He is the all, everything is all, the reasons are he. Karan Karanam. So we have to just, you should not go on and searching and making some practice or research or thesis. No, just accept it. Because it has come from the Brahma Samhita, it has come from the Bhagavad Gita. They are the bona fide authentic documents spoken by Lord Krishna. Who else you want? The highest person is telling you. So we should not waste our time. We have to just accept. When people do not accept this and ask proof, this is their misfortune. They are unlucky people. They are foolish. Because if they start keeping searching and making thesis, making something, whole life will go waste. And at the end also, they will not come to know the conclusion. So if really we are interested to make our life useful, we should try to follow the instruction of Parampara, Acharya and Vedas. And they say clearly, Ishwar, the Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada says, go to Golok, back to Godhead. The Acharya says, he is the source of all. He is the person from which everything has come. He created this world, material world, spiritual world, and all the lokas. This is called descending method, which is useful for the spiritual knowledge. But descending method cannot help in spiritual knowledge. Ascending method can be helpful for understanding science, medical or other things, that's okay. But this method is not useful for spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge, you should take it granted from the bona fide person today and just start your journey afterwards. Don't waste your time. Because if you start searching, there's no way, the whole life will go waste. So this is one thing which I want to just stress. And there are three methods of Praman in our spiritual studies in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and spiritual. There are three methods of taking the knowledge. One is called the Pratyaksh Praman, direct perception. Seeing and just believing. Whatever you see, you can see and practically, and you can believe it. Direct perception, which is done for material science, medical or something. You can carbon dioxide, carbon plus oxygen, carbon dioxide. You can see water, H2O. You can maybe electrolysis of water, and you find hydrogen and oxygen separate. You can see, and so this is science for direct perception, but which is not which gives the knowledge of only maybe 1 or 2% of the total knowledge, because this knowledge cannot be achieved by the total knowledge cannot be achieved by this method of direct perception. So second method is inference, anuman. Suppose some smoke is coming out of a building, we can think that there must be some fire in the building. We may think, maybe right, may not be right. But when we go near the building, we find that the people in the building are doing some barbecue. They're taking something on the fire and putting something on that and for eating purpose. So the smoke is coming. So that the smoke is coming is okay. But authentically, nobody can say it is a fire or it is something game or it is cooking or something. So this is also imperfect. Inference is also sometimes correct, sometimes may not be correct. The third method is Shabd Praman. Shabd Praman is the Praman Shabd spoken by a bona fide authentic person and just take it granted. Finished. No more discussion, no more question. Mother says, so and so is your father. And we accept, okay, ma'am, okay, madam, okay, mummy, okay, mother. Finished. No more question. Chapter closed. Start your journey further. You should not start journey backward and try to find out why, how. So this is a 33rd method of knowledge, achieving knowledge, direct perception, and inference, and Shabd Praman. Shabd Praman is the most important, like a saying of mother to his son. Whatever has written in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they are all authentic. But told by our Guru, Parampara, Guru, Prabhupada, and his disciples and Acharya. We have to just accept. This will take time, not much, and we will be able to achieve something in this life. Otherwise, we will waste our life in searching or research. Second point, which Mataji has already explained, 6.35, but actually it should be 6.34. This slok is which we are talking. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramadi balvadram tasyama hamanigrah manne vayurub siddhuskram. This is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text number 34. And 35 is the answer of this question, which Mataji has already explained. Asansayam mahabaho manum durgam charam abhyasintu kaunteya vairagyam chakrayate. This is the answer of this question, which Arjun has asked. This is the Arjun question, and Krishna has given the answer in 6.35. So this is second thing. Third thing is this: the comparison of Rath and body. Very interesting, very important thing, which is given here. Sri Prabhupada was very kind and to include this in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6.34. It has come in the 6.34 Bhagavad Gita, and purport Srila Prabhupada has added this from Katha Upanishad 1.3.3 and 4, which has said that what is the comparison of a body and Rath. Rath means car. So like Rath is there, it has got 5 horses. So they are like 5 indriyas of us. And our body is like a whole Rath. Then the horses are being controlled by lagam, ropes. These ropes are like mind. And who is controlling ropes? The ropes are in the hand of a driver. Driver is like a buddhi. And who is sitting in the rath or car, like owner or passenger, is the Atma, we ourselves. So this is a wonderful comparison between the rath and our body. Now the question from this, you can see clearly, this has been taken from Katha Upanishad. So you have to accept it. So who is driving? The buddhi is driving as a driver through ropes, lagam of mind. To whom driving? The five senses. So five senses, which are, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, smell, and skin. All the information of this material world are achieved, are collected by these five senses, and they are fed to mind. Like they are the horses are connected through ropes. Rope is mind. But who is driving the ropes? The buddhi. So mind has to give the information to buddhi, and buddhi has to analyze which is good for us or not good for us. But if the buddhi is not so strong, we are not using buddhi, we are not cultivated our buddhi strongly to control the whole rath, then what will happen? The buddhi will not guide, and the mind will take the rath wherever he wants. In a jungle, in a overcrowded path, or a road, or a highway. And then, but what will the position of jiva, the person who is sitting in the rath? If rath goes to a good road, the person will enjoy the drive. But if it goes to a jungle or some pagdandi or something, gadda or something, then who will enjoy or suffer? We, jivatma. So ultimately, suffering is us. We are suffering or enjoying, depending upon where the mind is taking us. So ultimately, the point here is the buddhi has to be so strong that it controls the mind. That I want to go to ISKCON Vrindavan, and the driver goes, takes the rath to strong, clearly on the path of Vrindavan. Enjoy. But if it is not under control of mind, of the buddhi, the mind takes its own decision and takes us to somewhere, some theater or some bar or something, wherever he wants to go enjoy. So that is not the right. This is the position of all of us in this time, because we don't have control on our senses. Whatever we will see, we take collected all those things. See, small children in the school, they say read all the information, takes information in the mobile from internet or something, and all sort of nonsense information they are taking, and they are learning all those things. So this has to be in control. This is not for this age. So this is very important. Buddhi has to be strong or strongly utilized. Use it. And who can dictate this? Yourself, the Atma. Provided you are having some support of Lord. If you are covered by the material things very badly, if you don't have realization of Lord, then nothing will happen. So that's why in ISKCON Parampara, Krishna conscious movement, the Prabhupada has said, control the mind. And Bhagavad Gita also very clearly told in 6.34 and 35 that we have to, and the example is given by the Arjun. You see, Arjun is not ordinary person. He is a bhakta of Krishna. And he was in this Dwapar Yuga. Now we are in Kali Yuga. Things are very difficult now. But even Arjun says that the mind cannot be controlled. It's very difficult. He gave example. I can control the wind. No, you know that wind control karna bahut mushkil hai. You cannot control the wind. But he's giving example. I can control, you will try to control the wind, which is very difficult and impossible, but I can control somehow. But mind I cannot ever control. Because it is so obstinate, it is very jiddi. It is all obstinate and powerful. It doesn't listen to you. But then Krishna gave the answer of this in again 6.35. Sri Bhagavan Vacho, Asanse Mahavaho, Manodurgam Chalam, Abhyasentu Konteye, Vairagyam Chakre. Lord Krishna says, Arjun, don't worry. I agree with your argument that it is difficult to control the mind. Yes, I agree. But I say that it is not impossible. It is possible. Difficult hai, lekin possible hai. And how it can be controlled? Sabda Praman. Lord Krishna has given the answer. Abhyasen tu pante vairagyam ch grahate. And Saswati Mataji explained Abhyas and Vairag. Abhyas means practice. Suppose mind is there, it is running away from you. It has gone somewhere. You bring it back. Again, for some time, mind will stay. Again, it will go. Again, you will be back. So this is a practice. You have to keep practicing to bring the mind at one position where you want. But the tendency is to go away. आप क्लास में पढ़ रहे हैं लेकिन आपको घर की याद आ रही है कि अभी घर में कुछ वेजिटेबल ले जाना है, अभी कुछ और काम करना है, तो माइंड विल गो. बट कंट्रोल कैसे करेंगे? बार बार उसको अपने पास लाइए and it will happen one day that the mind will able to listen to you and he will not go. कंट्रोल में हो जाएगा अभ्यास. And what is the vairagya? Vairagya means detachment. From what is to be detached from things which are going to disturb our dhyan or something. They are the no meat eating. That means meat eating. No gambling. No illicit sex. No. One more thing is there. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Huh?
There are 4 things
No
which we have to be.
intoxication, no meat eating.
Intoxication, you have to be avoid intoxication, avoid gambling, avoid sex and
meat eating.
If these things have to be avoided, why we have to avoid? Because they are going to create problems for you and your mind will be taking very easy and this will go here and there very easily. So Lord Krishna has given the answer to Arjun here. Arjun, it's not impossible. It is possible, but difficult maybe. But how? You have to detach from the material things, the subject. Don't be attached to the subject. Suppose you see something good, you should not be attached to that. Okay, it is. You see, let it go. Don't be attached. You see, it is gone. If attachment is there, then problems are there. So attachment from the material things through our senses, we have to be very careful. And then what has to be done? Practice. You have to keep on practicing this thing. Mind will go, keep on going. But you always bring him. Again he will go, again bring him. This practice will go for some time, but after some time, the mind will understand what you want. Like, like a horse, a new horse. Some trainer comes and he trained the horse. Even they can train the elephant. Even they have trained the lions also. Trained practice by fear or by weapon or something, by hunter or something. They keep on practicing. And after some time, the animal become trained. Like even a dog, cat, or even a bird also becomes trained. So you have to keep on practicing. Practicing nice things, keep on practicing. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक बार किया और आपका काम हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. It may not be possible. Keep on practicing. You have to give some time. ये हो जाएगा. And best thing available for us is Srila Prabhupada and his parampara is gone. They have given the answer how to practice, how to do. Attend classes. Keep on thinking about Krishna 24 hours. Like Mataji has just explained. You do chanting. You listen. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Dishnam, Ismam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Bandham, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmavedam. You can follow any process of bhakti. So, for example, has been given by Srila Prabhupada in the lecture and our Acharya. How to remember Krishna 24 hours? It is given in the Bhagavad Gita also. Suppose you are drinking water. In Gita, Lord Krishna says, I am the ras of water. So suppose you are drinking water, you should think that this taste is coming is water. You are seeing sun and moon. Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says, I am the sun or moon. They are all my eyes. Krishna says, the sun and moon are my eyes. So you remember this. You see sun, and think that this is the eye of Krishna. You see the moon, you think that this is the eye of Krishna. Like this. And you see the people, you can think that there is a Krishna, this is a Paramatma sitting in their heart, in his heart also. He is my heart also, he is in your heart also. You have to behave like that. So that thinking Krishna will help you to remember Krishna 24 hours. This example has been given in the Bhagavad Gita. You can read in detail. So you can remember 24-hour Krishna. And when you remember 24 Krishna and chant, your mind will never go out. He will become your servant. And when the mind becomes servant, you will go in the direction of Lord Krishna. Go back to Godhead only. You cannot go here and there. And ultimately, finally, you will go back to Godhead, which is the object of every human being in this world, especially in this Kali Yuga, where things are very difficult. So this is a wonderful example in chapter Bhagavad Gita, chapter 634 में दिया है, comparison of Ratha band with your body. And last thing which has been given here, last thing is how example of Ambrish Maharaj, King Ambrish, how has controlled his senses. That example has been given, and that example has been given in this sloka, like Mataji has just read. Sabai mana Krishna Padar Vindiyor, Pachan se Vaikuntha Gudanu Verpate, Karo Hare Mandiram, Marjanam Ishu, Shrutim Prakash Chakrasitam Sat Payodhiti. This is also again 6.18 Bhagavad Gita. It has been taken from Srimad Bhagavatam 9.4, Skand 9, chapter 4, text number 18, 19 and 20. How King Ambrish has tried to control his senses. Very good example. First, engage his mind, lotus feet at Lord Krishna. अपना mind को कहाँ लगाया? On the lotus feet of Krishna. His words describing the divine qualities of Krishna. His hands in mopping the temple. His ears hearing Leela of Krishna. His eyes seeing the divine form of Krishna. His body touching the body of and serving the devotees and Lord Krishna. His nose smelling the tulsi offered to Lord Krishna. His tongue tasting flowers and prasad. His legs going to dham or temple. His head offering obeisances to Lord Krishna. And his desire executing the missions of Lord Krishna. Like this, how he has devoted and used these senses. Then there is no question of his senses going out. They will not go. They will be always engaged in Krishna, 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 Krishna. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada has given instruction to all of us that we should chant 16 rounds of mala. Chanting the mala means we are doing bhakti of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaran. Then reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, attending classes like this. Then studying the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Kirtan, listening Kirtan, going to Dham, going to temple, association of devotee, listening from Acharya. Like this, so there will be no question of mind going here, haywire. It will be certainly controlled as per your wish. And when the mind is controlled, the Golok Dham is very near. Mind will take. See, mind is Satru and mind is Mitra also. You cannot say goodbye to mind, because mind is required. The ropes are required in the Rath. Only thing is you have to just guide the ropes in right or left, wherever you want. So mind is required, but then you have to control. And the control also has been told how to control the mind, how to remember Krishna, Lord Krishna 24 hours. And by this method, whatever you do, the seva or the bhakti, it will certainly help you to achieve the highest object of the humankind, love of Krishna. And ultimately they will go back to Godhead, Golok, and always become the servant of Lord Krishna eternally. Then there is no question of any other attack of Maya or anything else on you. So ultimately this is the object of deed number 33, how to become Krishna conscious 24 hours. And how to behave like this. He should take help from the ascending, not ascending process, but descending process. Whatever the Prabhupada says, the Acharya says, the Parampara says, Bhagavad Gita says, you can speak about things, but not as a, you are quoting. You say, I am quoting from Gita. To give example of where you have taken this information, you have to declare the source. So whatever I say, I am not saying from my side, it is, I am just quoting Gita, Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, text number 34, 35, or Katha Upanishad, or any other source which is there, you can read. Nothing to hide. So I think we have already covered, Mataji has already covered. Now you can read questions and answers.